Yo, what is up, guys? We're back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about a very hot topic in the community for Epic 7. There's been a lot of backlash in the community everywhere, content creators, Reddit, Discord, even in the Korean community. There's just a lot of backlash going on. And of course, you guys probably already know what's happening. It's going to be about the game balance. In PvP, the meta right now is very stale, a lot of the same units. And the worst part is that all of the units are Moonlight 5 stars. The best units in the game right now are Moonlight 5 stars, barring like 2 or 3 RGBs. It just makes the overall experience very unfun to play. I'm sure even as you newer players are climbing Arena, you guys just see 4 ML 5 stars on defense. You're like, how the heck do I beat this defense? Well, most of the time it's really hard in the early game because those units are just the best units in the game at the moment for PvP. So Smilegate has been getting a lot of criticism. And finally, they decided to apologize and release a statement on it and what they plan to do. And honestly, I'm going to say that I'm not fully happy with how they're handling it. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, but it is a step in the right direction. And I'm going to actually talk about how I think they should fix the game. I'm not saying what I think is the correct way, but it's just what I personally think will help the game right now, because I personally feel like the meta is very bad and the game state of Epic 7 is definitely not the healthiest it could be, right? So starting off, I'm not going to read through all of this crap because I say crap, but it's just a lot of PR stuff, right? They're just Smilegate's basically apologizing, say, oh, we want to make the game super healthy. We want to do it for the players and make sure you guys have fun. We listen to the community about the meta and so forth, right? But basically what they're saying, I'll basically summarize it for you guys, is they're saying that they understand that that the meta right now is fully full of like 5-star ML heroes, which are hard to obtain. And basically they aren't denying that they put more of a focus on ML 5-star units, especially in recent times, over like red, green, blue RGB heroes, right? Like ice, like non-ML units basically, right? And that means that the ML heroes got over buffed more so than the RGB heroes, which, yeah, makes sense considering how over buff some of the units are, like APOC Ravi, Conquer Ilias, AOL, right? And they're kind of understanding that because those ML 5-star heroes are so hard to obtain, maybe they should not be buffing like that. You know, that's like a crazy thing to think about, right? Maybe you guys shouldn't buff heroes that are super hard to obtain, or else it'll make an imbalance in, you know, the majority of the players and the whales, right? So yeah, that's crazy. You know, I never would have thought of that. But yeah, that's what they think. That's what they're realizing now after about 6 months of this. And they're trying to see how they can improve the situation. And basically what they're saying is they're going to actually in the future not buff 5-star heroes as much unless they think it will actually make the game a lot better. And what they're going to do, instead of nerfing these overpowered 5-star ML heroes, is that they're going to buff more RGB heroes and specialty change heroes. Now let me say, I think there are a lot of Covenant heroes, RGB heroes, and specialty heroes, so like specialty change heroes that need to be buffed in the game. But I don't know if you guys need to buff everything to make, you know, the game balance, right? Balance doesn't mean you just keep making everything better and better, right? Like you have to think of balance as a scale, in my opinion. There needs to be nerfs. And the reason why Smilegate, you know, avoided the word nerf in this paragraph or in this essay that they wrote for us is basically because they're very afraid of people that spend a lot of money in the game. Because every time they nerf, there's a lot of backlash. And basically people cry for selectors, like ML 5-star selectors and like refunds on some stuff and basically recalls, right? So that's why they're really afraid of nerfing. But I really think if they decide to make Epic 7 super competitive for PvP, which they definitely are trying to do because they have world championships, they have monetary prize pools, they're implementing a lot of PvP changes, and they're actually showing a lot of effort, I just think that they really need to nerf heroes. Now, I might be in the minority here thinking that heroes need to be nerfed, but I'm not saying they just nerf heroes and don't give us anything. I think that they should nerf heroes, and instead of giving us selectors for everything, because that would just make it so everyone has every strong ML here in the game, and people will hoard the ML 5-star heroes and try to predict when things will get nerfed and try to, you know, use multiple selectors for different heroes. For example, right, let's say that they nerf Conquer Ilias, right? People know that Conquer Ilias was super OP, right? And if people predicted that she would get nerfed, they would just pull multiple copies, and once the selector comes out, they'll just trade it in for like the next 5 OP ML 5-stars, and they'll be in a better spot, right? So I think they should not give selectors after nerfs if they do decide to nerf. What I think they should do is they should give us 40 galaxy coins. instead of a selector, they should give us a recall, give us all our mats back if we want, right? All of our catalysts, all of our runes. We have to reset the unit to level like 5 or whatever, and we keep the unit. But I think what they should give us is a 40 galaxy coin, basically like present, right? And what we can do with that is, instead of choosing a hero that we want right away from the selector, we have to wait in the shop rotation, and we have options other than heroes, right? We can get good gear, we can get Molagora, that's in the whale shop, right? The galaxy coin shop. And we can also just choose another ML 5-star hero that we have to wait for, instead of abusing the selectors, which has been a problem in the past, right? So I personally think that they should really add nerfs into the game. It will just make balancing so much easier. And if they don't decide to do nerfs, which I can perfectly understand, because it's a business, right? They don't want to lose money, stuff like that. There's gonna be a lot of backlash no matter what they do, and nerfs is probably the most dangerous option. Then they really need to do buffs in more intervals. So what I mean by that is they should do balance patches more often, and the buffs should be very minimal, right? So recently for buffs, every time they buff recently, they've been buffing S1s, S2s, and S3s for every unit. So am I crazy for thinking, maybe, just maybe, they should buff one skill at a time, right? They should look at the win rate change, because they have access to the win rates, right? And then we see how the win rate changes from that. And if it's not good enough, you put more buffs in. I think it's way better to under buff and then keep adding more buffs over time than just throwing 3 buffs to like a unit like Ravi, making her super broken in every single aspect, right? So that's what I think. Continuing on with what they're saying though, they're also talking about how they're improving equipment. So yeah, this is the usage of equipment sets. You'll see Q1 of 2021, it's 55% of speed set, now it's 54, not big of a change. But they're highlighting that injury and penetration set from Katie's has went up a lot. Injury is a 1% change, and they highlight it in red because they think that's a lot. But obviously they want to actually, make the sets more, diverse, right? Which is a good thing, because farming Wyvern over and over is not that fun, to be honest, and kind of would be nice to see some diversity. So what they're doing is they're going to actually try to add more sets to the game. So I don't know if that's a great idea. So adding more sets to the game won't really help the situation. What I think they need to do is they need to actually change like the less used sets, like Unity, Attack, Destruction, Health, right? And they do plan to do that, but the first thing that they're planning to do is add more sets to the game. Now, I don't know if that's the best option, because what are they going to add, right? I'm just really worried they're going to add something like violent runes from Summoner's Ward, where you take extra turns, which is definitely what we don't want. So, we're going to see what's going to happen, but they definitely know something's wrong with equipment sets. And hopefully they start, changing some sets up. I don't think they'll nerf speed set, but maybe up some numbers on attack, health, right? And hopefully, like I said with the heroes, they do very small buffs, right? They look at these changes, right? Because they have access to the data, and then they see what they have to do after, right? I think no matter what, speed is going to be the most used set in the game, because that's how Epic 7 is. Speed is just too important in this game. But, having some more diversity, like having speed drop to like 40% would probably be ideal, although that'll take a long time, and we can't really expect that to change right away. That being said, they're adding no new hunts, just more sets to the existing hunts, and they're planning to actually increase the amounts of ways of getting gear, which is always a good thing, right? But hopefully it's actually, a good way to get gear and not just like coin shop stuff, right? So yeah, they're also improving on the PvP system. So like you can see, right, they are really focused on PvP right now. All the units that have been coming out are very focused on PvP, right? So it kind of makes sense that they want to make the game more competitive, right? They even have a World Championship mode coming out, or not a World Championship mode, they have a World Championship Season 2 coming out in the summer, which, by the way, last year, they had a huge patch right before the World Championship. I hope they don't do that again, because that is, like, super troll and really bad for the game. But yeah, they're adding more pre-bans to World Arena because, yeah, there's so many good units right now. And honestly, if you guys are toying around in mock battles, the 2 pre-ban system feels so nice. You can use so many more units now if you pre-ban more units, so thank God it's happening. They're also adding World Championship WC mode. I think it's World Championship mode. Basically, it's going to be like a tournament system where pre-ban heroes in each round of the tournament will be progressively banned, so you're going to have to use more and more units, a huge diversity in your hero pool. I think that mode's going to be for super whales, because honestly, even with 1 pre-ban right now, it's really hard for newer players to get into the game. And I think that is a problem with 2 pre-bans, but I think they said that they'll add the 2 pre-bans to champion and above. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully if they decide to do these PvP changes, right, where you're going to have more access to units, you're going to have a bigger hero pool, that they add a lot more ways to get Molagora, first and foremost, right? I don't think they talked about that at all, but we really need more Molagora. more ways to get gear. And I think they should make catalysts and runes a little bit more easier to get as well, in my opinion. Same with fodder, right? But yeah, anyways, they have another PvP mode coming out, 3v3 team mode, also going to require a lot of units, right? Basically, in the new mode, you have 3 offending teams, and you battle against 3 defending teams. And yeah, it's just basically a 3v3 team mode in arena. Basically, not a lot of what's it called, information on this, but it sounds pretty fun. But yeah, this is what they are trying to do for PvP, right? They're trying to do for the short term. They're trying to diversify heroes in the meta with balance, I guess. A medium term, I guess, is hero and equipment set, balance adjustments, and long-term optimized PvP environment. And this is how they're deciding to update it in the current, future. They're trying to do the World Championship mode first, major updates with hero equipment and growth. Hopefully Molgora, hopefully raising heroes is easier. Hopefully getting gear is easier, right? New equipment sets, we'll see how that goes. It's really hard to tell how that will be without seeing the sets. And you can see, like, after that, it's just like they're gonna buff the sets or change the new sets and current sets and add the arena 3v3 mode. But yeah, just to summarize, guys, like, I think it's a good thing that Smilegate realizes that the game is not in a good state. I mean, it's really obvious when everyone in the community is complaining and whining about it. I'm a offender myself. I've been whining about this as well on stream a lot, but it really needs to be changed. And I think this is a step in the right direction, but I feel like they're missing out on some key things, right? Like I said, I'll highlight again. I think they need more Molgora. I think they need to have better ways to get catalysts and runes and EXP for units, because the way they're pushing the game, you need a lot of units built. I think they need to, do buffs more frequently at a very, very smaller scale instead of doing these huge buffs. I also think they should add nerfs to the game, and they should reward us with maybe not a selector, because that's really abusable, but with coins, because they have the Galaxy coin shop, they have the RGB coin shop, right? Might as well be able to give us coins, and we'll be able to buy heroes in the future with it, and let us keep the heroes and refund, and not even refund, like recall the heroes as well and get the mats back for what we've used on them, right? I think that's the best way to approach it, especially because there's so many units in the game anyways. Now that there's so many units, they shouldn't be worried about nerfing units and us just, getting every unit in the game, because they continuously nerf units, because they're releasing units so quickly that no matter what, if you're free to play, it's going to be super hard to get all the units in the game. So that's what I pretty much think about what Smilegate has said. I understand Smilegate's point of view, right? They don't want to offend a large part of the community, right? So they have to be very, very careful in how they decide to do this. But I think, this is what I think of how they should change the game and how I think it'll be better, because I think they're getting a lot more serious with how Epic 7's going, because Epic 7 is getting a lot more bigger, and Lost Ark is also Smilegate game, and Smilegate's just doing really well. But I think they need to try to think about on the larger scale how to appease the community, on a larger scale. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about the patch. You guys can write essays or whatever. Join my Discord channel in my in the description box and talk about it with my fellow Discordees. But yeah, I think this is a huge thing to talk about, and I think it's very good that they actually finally released a statement on this, and hopefully that they actually follow up on this and they do make the game better, because yeah, the PvP meta really sucks, and hopefully they change it. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this was more like a talk than a video, but very, very important topic to talk about today. Even if you're new to the game, this is really important, because if you hit mid game and late game and they didn't change anything, you would want to quit the game, trust me. Because the wall into PvP right now from early game to mid game into the late game is just so thick, not fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, make sure you comment down below what you guys think, what you guys want from the game to change, right? And as always, hit that like button to help me out, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.